What's good? Welcome back to the channel. Chris back with another video for you guys. Today I'm on a 2014 Dodge Avenger. Should be the same process from 2008 through 14 as far as changing the rear brake pads, unless you have drum brakes. So these are for disc brakes only. So let's get off into it. All right, so you're gonna need a 19 millimeter to get your lugs off, okay? And you're definitely gonna need a jack and a jack stand for safety always. All right, so in my case, we have 19s, but we have a swollen 19, so you might have to get you a kit like this if you have any swollen nuts, which have half sizes. So it became a 19 and a half. So getting ready to use this dude to get off one of these guys. All the rest should come off easy. So just wanted to show that, but it's a 5-piece flip socket set with half sizes. All right, let's get to it. All right, so I'm not quite sure what size we're gonna use. Might be a 14, might be a 13, or it's the caliber bolts. And whichever ones come off easy is the ones you want to remove first. So let's get all these out. And let me switch over to my half size, so it'll fit on there. There we go. Still kind of stuck, so let's smack it on the ground. Might have to do that sometimes to get them to break free. Just kind of knock it around in a circle till it comes out. All right, so let's make this back so I'll know that's correct. And this hubcap you have to put on after you put your wheel on, or take it off before, because you have steel rims instead of alloys. Sit that to the side, give some smacks. There we go. Should come right on off. And when you go to the parts store, you're probably gonna have to take one of your old pads with you if you don't know exactly your rotor size, because we weren't able to get them because there's two different style pads. Okay, so from there, let's see what we got. Looks like two 14s, and we can get started. Two 14s it looks like. So give me a second, let me verify what our sizes are. Be right back. All right, so we back in here. We're gonna need a 14 millimeter, and I believe this style is the one that you just have to take out one bolt. So just loosen the top one up, and if it's real tight, you might need some PB Blaster or some WD-40. I usually take the neck of my wrench like this and the neck of my hammer and just hit it. I already loosened this one. Just wanted to show that. And they both are 14, so you'll be going up. But it should only be tight enough where you can just have to smack it a few times. And sometimes it'll rotate, like down in here, it's rotating. And if it does, let's get a screwdriver, a flathead, and we're gonna jam that in here. And hopefully it'll stop moving for us. There we go. So yeah, it's a pin in there. Well, I'll show you in a second, but it's usually a hex head or something that locks up against there, and you just want to rotate it on out. Okay. Now that we got that, should be able to pull the whole thing out like that. All right, and we're gonna set this out the way. Just remember to put them in top, bottom, how they come out. But this one, you can just lift it up like this, and you just slide the whole piece over like that. So you only have to loosen this up just a little bit and slide it over. And we're gonna go match up these parts. These brakes look real good, actually. Yeah, the pads look great. Oh, they got a little glaze on them, but they actually look pretty darn good. All right, well, we gotta go match up the parts, and let's see if we need to proceed. And if not, we're gonna continue the process, but they look pretty good. So we back in here, we decided to go ahead and get new pads, okay? So we ended up getting the Duralast Elites. So these dudes right here, this is the parts number here. Let's move that out the way. Parts number there, DE1037. All right, so let's match up the parts. The pads is gonna have new brake clips. If yours don't, and you can re-clean the old brake clips, but you have new ones. So let's match up our pads. So they're the same, very small pads, but these are a lot better. And they're glazed, so if yours are glazed, definitely change them, because you're going to slide and they're going to squeak because it's becoming like a more metal. So it's semi-metallic and it's starting to become a glaze to basically from heat, and they're not going to wear like they're supposed to. So all right, we're going to leave this over here for now. We got new screamer clips. It should be one for each side, and let's proceed. Okay. And some of them have one for each side, as far as passenger and driver, and some of them won't. So it'll just be just one indicator. You don't really have to have it, but it helps you keep up with your brakes. All right, so let me come over here a little bit, because we're gonna pop these on up and out and clean this area just like that. So if you had to reuse these, you could. And let's do the same thing with the top. And that one goes that way. You'll see which way they go. Match them up with your new clips. And they look the same already, so I'm just going to tear it open. And sometimes they fit the same way. Some of them are universal and some of them aren't. So you want them to go back in the way they came out. So these would be the two that came out for the bottom. This one, we're putting this one in. So you're going to need a wire brush like this. Just clean all that old gunk and stuff out the way, which causes squeaking as well. So you want it clean as possible. And looks real good. Now, all vehicles don't have rotor screws, and this is one of them that don't. So sometimes they're not necessary really. So let's go ahead and pop this one back in. And if it doesn't go in flush like that one did, sometimes they're a headache. You gotta mash them in with a screwdriver and just make sure they're seated well. There we go. Same thing, we took the top one out. Let's clean that one as well. And then we're almost done with the process, but you want all the debris out the way and you want it clean as possible. All right, now let's match up our other clip. And we got the one from the top, and we want it to do the same. So when it goes in, got our box. All right, so let's go ahead and put this one back in as well. Just like that. And let's double check. Yep, it's in there great. Okay, so that's where the pad will go on the inside there. And we'll use a C-clamp to mash our caliper back here in a moment. But here, as far as this pad, I usually just take a screwdriver and just work it up and just kind of swing it. And I'm usually not sitting on my butt, but there we go. Let's crank it on off and over. And this way works too. And I usually cover my hand just to make sure it doesn't blast off on me. There we go. Alright, so we got that off. And let's put some brake grease right here to keep it from squeaking as well. And you just need a little bit, not a lot. Just in the groove there. And just kind of wipe with your finger. You don't want to see a glob. You just want to kind of wipe in there with your finger. Same thing with the top. Just wipe across like that. Alright, but we are going to lubricate our guide pins back. So we're going to do that here in a moment. So here, let's go ahead and compress our caliper and use our C-clamp. You may have a kit, but it'll be easier to use your C-clamp just because of how small these calibers are, okay? Just making sure we're on the camera good. So you're gonna set your pad inside just like this, rest it up against your piston here. And we're gonna drop this down and let's measure it up. And let's screw it up a little bit. Rest it here a little better. Alright, so that's pretty good. We can just start squeezing it on back. Rotate it. You see the piston go in, you're just going to go till it stops. And when it stops, that's it. Alright, so we're stopped. Let's back this up. And we're going to move everything out the way. Pad and everything. Flip this back over. Going on this way when we go back. So let's just fold it back from now. Alright. Our new pad is just going to rest in here, in the sleeve. Don't go past it, and might have to adjust your clip a little bit. Point it up against your rotor like that. All right, so let's get our other guy. This dude here, and we're gonna put a little brake grease around that too. And just put some on there like this, and just lubricate around it. And not too much. If it's too much, just wipe some off. I just want to glaze on it like that. All right, let's snap this back in. Just gonna put both of them in and just slide them in just like this, just like that. Okay, so now this is ready to flip back over, but we're gonna lubricate these guide pins so they'll move in and out like they should. So let's get some more grease. And let's lube. All right, that should be good for the top there. And let's go ahead and slide it back in. Make sure your rubber bushing is on there. Go back in, give it some wiggles, and lift it up just like that. All right, and we're almost done. So we're gonna lubricate the guide pin as well for the bottom, and then we should be able to just rotate it down. And one more thing I did forget to do, so we'll do that first. Let's pop this back out, just like that. There should be a rest spot on here. Yep, right there for our screamer. So let's just lay that there for now. And let's get our screamer. Looks like it only came with one. Clean my hands off a little bit. Looks like we only have one. So let's grab our pad here. And it's gonna rock on just like this. In this groove right here. And just mash it in. And if it's not in good, take your screwdriver, make sure it seats well, and that is your brake screamer. So this one only came with one, so you only have to have one. So you don't have to have two. Let's flip this back up. And let's work this back in. All right, let's flip this down, just like that. And we're gonna have to put our rubber bushing in. It fell off on us, so let's just pop it in real fast, like that. Fold this down like that, and let's lubricate this dude. And just knowing now, you don't have to loosen this, so I got to tighten it back up. So just learned something with this specific one. It's similar to other brakes, but it's been a while since I've done them, and this car is different from other ones. So let's slide this one back in now, and get it tight as much as we can by hand. All right. Let me get my ratchet. And that way I can proceed to the passenger side, or the driver's side. This is the passenger side. All right, we'll get this close enough. And then I'm gonna tighten the one that I moved loose a little bit. There we go. So all you need to do is smack it by hand. There we go. Spread out our bushing a little bit and give it some smacks. And once it starts bouncing like that, you are tight enough. So this is how you change the brake pads on a 2014 Dodge Avenger. Should be the same from the 08 and up, unless you have drum brakes. But once you're done, pump your brakes and they should be okay. So like I said, hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. Hopefully this helps you change your rear pads. If there's any comments you want to leave, feel free to do so. But always know rest of the enemy. To the next video, I'm out.